At his house, Hong is visited by H. Wang, a lady he went to elementary with. She mentions that she heard about his accident and is glad he is well now. The next day, Yoon calls Jai into her office. She asks him about his relationship with Mackenzie, but he gets upset and gives no response. Han, the life science teacher, goes down to the basement and a ring on her finger indicates that she is part of Safe Happiness like H. Wang. A security guard approaches Hong and informs him that Mackenzie wants access to the basement. Now fully aware that Mackenzie has ulterior motives, Hong and Yoon decide to investigate. They decide that Yoon will look into Mackenzie's background while Hong will focus on getting in touch with Ilgwang's sterilization. Yoon decides to snoop around in Mackenzie's home, so she enlists HWA to help her retrieve his address from the Safe Happiness website. In Mackenzie's house, Yoon finds a map with the school's address and strange algae in a tub. As soon as she touches the algae, an odd mark appears on her neck. When Mackenzie returns home, he is disappointed to see that his algae are now dead. Hong's search for Ilgwang's sterilization leads him to a building marked HSP. When he reaches the doorstep of Ilgwang's sterilization, he finds that the office has been abandoned. After developing a strange rash, Yoon goes to the doctor. He tells her it is poison ivy and recommends that she take time off work to heal. True to this, Yoon does not return to work. That evening, Hong and Yoon meet outside to discuss their findings while Yoon absorbs enough power to heal her. The two discuss different topics, and Yoon notices that something is different. Later, the pair return to Hong's house and pay a visit to Hong's grandfather's library. Hong tells Yoon that he was very fond of his grandfather. Yoon handpicks a few books, and the two start searching for clues. Eventually, they find something referencing the engraved stone they found in the basement. It says anyone who can control the breathing hole under the engraved stone can turn luck in their favor and control the nation. Yoon meets with HWA and tells her that she thinks the school is getting her entangled in strange things. Yoon also expresses that she is displeased with Hong. While working on school grounds, Yoon steps on a mite. Looking up ahead, she realizes that a multitude of them have entered the school. Try as she might, Yoon is unable to kill the mites. Even her sword seems to fail her. The mites soon begin to affect the students, causing them to develop strange itches. The appearance of the mites in the school attracts Hai, a new student who is a mite eater. In a conversation, Hai tells Yoon that mites can only be destroyed by the gastric acid of a mite collector. She also tells Yoon that she has lived several lives and has spent all those years limited to a 5.38 kilometers district. Based on experience, Hai tells Yoon that mites are migrating to the school as a result of a disturbance to the stone. Yoon takes this information to Hong, and as the two discuss, Hong gets a message from H. Wang. Yoon concludes that H. Wang is her competition. After responding to H. Wang, Hong tells Yoon that while looking through old photos of a fishing trip with his grandfather, he saw someone in the background wearing a jacket that read Ilgwang's sterilization. Hong invites Yoon to travel to Busan with him so they can investigate, but she turns down the offer saying that she can't travel such a far distance since they are not dating. Later, Yoon gets on a call with HWA to inform her about her new competition. While discussing, Yoon says H. Wang used to be one of them, so HWA looks her up on the Safe Happiness website. It says that H. Wang is the leader of the order. After being around for a little while, Hai makes friends with Ara and another classmate, Rady. The high amount of mites at the school cause Hai to consume an excessive amount of food, which gives her a stomach ache. Later that day, she gets her period for the first time and has to go to the nurse's office. Hai opens up about her existence and tells Yoon that although she has lived many lives, this is her first time being a girl. She also says that her kind never live past the age of 20, which makes her sad. Yoon feels pity for Hai and wants to help her become human so she can live a normal life and grow old. She shares this with HWA, and HWA tells her the only way to help Hai is to catch all the mites. The two discuss their roles, and Yoon says HWA is a healer while she is a soldier. Yoon spends the evening taking a bath, and she notices the mark she got from Mackenzie's house for the first time. A flashback shows a teenage Yoon in 7th grade. Yoon's classmates harass her because of her abilities, and she is made to sit with Kang, the son of a crime lord. Soon Yoon develops a good relationship with her seat partner Kang. She also learns that he is a talented artist. As they converse, Yoon tells Kang that his drawings are similar to the jealous, so he draws something for her. In the present, the spirit of Kang visits Yoon. He says instead of shattering into pieces after his death, he stopped by to see her. Hai has taken a liking to Rady, Ara, Jai, Seun, and the rest of their friend group. They even spend a night having fun together. After being reunited with Yoon, Kang's spirit follows her everywhere. This, however, does not stop Yoon from looking for ways to help Hai live a normal long life. On a call, HWA tells Yoon that she has found someone who can make Hai human by performing an operation. Yoon shares the news with Hai, but Hai seems skeptical. At the end of the school day, Hong drives Yoon to see the surgeon. In the car, Yoon sees a used coffee cup indicating that Hong spent time with H. Wang, and she grows jealous. This is soon forgotten as the two have an intimate moment. The surgeon turns out to be a woman who also works at a fish market. She tells Yoon that since Hai's entire stomach would be removed, the surgery costs 200 million. The woman also tells Kang that he cannot be saved and will soon fade away. Yoon thinks 200 million is extremely expensive, but Hong says it is a fair price for a new life. After taking time to think, Hai tells Yoon that she wants to remain a Might Eater to protect her friends. This frustrates Yoon. Seeking comfort since she cannot help both Kang and Hai, Yoon stops by a kindergarten to visit her friend Jiang. Jiang is the ghost of a child who died a long time ago after falling off a slide on the kindergarten premises. The reason Yoon has allowed Jiang to stick around for so long is that she is not in pain, and she is not a danger to anyone. From their conversation, Yoon realizes that Jiang's ghost is gradually fading away. During the walk back to her place, Yoon opens up to Kang about how terrifying her reality is. In response, Kang, who is in a lot of pain, tells Yoon that she cannot escape her destiny. This somehow makes Yoon even more determined to help Hai. As part of her plan, Yoon sets out to capture all the mites in the school. Next, she makes Hai eat them all at once so the school can be relatively safe. When she has the surgery, Hai is skeptical about all of it, but Yoon remains adamant. That evening, Kang tells Yoon he died in an accident at the construction site where he worked. With each passing minute, Kang's condition seems to be worsening. The two have a heartfelt conversation, and Kang tells Yoon to leave her job at the school because it is dangerous. Kang starts to fade and asks Yoon to come with him, but she cannot. As Kang fades, Yoon becomes hysterical and begins to recall the memories they had together while in high school. While mourning the loss of Kang, Yoon falls asleep and dreams about her death. When she wakes up, she sees a drawing Kang has left for her. Having convinced her to go through with the procedure, Yoon escorts Hai into the operating room. Yoon receives a call from her friend HWA. HWA says she is worried about her and would like them to meet up. Yoon agrees. Throughout the duration of the call, Yoon is cutting the tips of her fingernails, which she typically dyes with balsam to ward off evil spirits. After the call, Yoon says out loud that she can no longer see jealous. During Hai's surgery, the doctors are shocked that she does not have a navel. Moments later, a doctor informs Yoon that the surgery was successful, and then proceeds to give her the creature that was removed from Hai's stomach. The creature has Chinese scripture on it reading Guja. This means saving others in trouble. But Yoon can't actually see this as she's lost her power. Yoon and Hong pick Hai up after the surgery. During the ride, Yoon gives Hai advice on how to cope with her new stomach. Hai is excited that she is human because it means that she can leave her district. To test this out, Hai begs Han to drive a little further away from the district, and he obliges. The trio successfully make the drive, and Hai seems okay. During conversation, Hai confirms that the message engraved on the stone in the basement is true. She says the pool feeds off of the laughter of children and is still flooded with energy. Hai also tells Hong and Yoon that Hong's grandfather and Safe Happiness plan to channel this energy in an attempt to change their lucks and rule the nation. The trio agree that the decision to build a school in such a troubled location was a bad idea. At the school, a negative presence takes control of Wan and Min. Under the influence of the negative presence, the pair break into the basement, releasing the evil lurking within. After weighing her options, Yoon decides to resign, so she hands in her letter to Hong. He tries to convince her to stay since he believes she can protect the school, but her mind is made up. A wave of evil jelly from the basement washes over the school as Yoon leaves, but she doesn't see it. Without Yoon around, the jellies, which seem to be feeding on negative energy, soon take hold over the school. In the cafeteria, Hai and Rady announce that they are together, and the other students respond negatively. Eventually, a fight breaks out between Rady and Ara. When the teachers learn of the situation, they all burst into feats of maniacal laughter, indicating that they are losing their minds. Only Han appears to be in his right mind. Overwhelmed by all the strange happenings, Han decides to make the trip to Busan to find Ilgwang's sterilization. On the way, he tries to contact Yoon, but his attempts fail. At her house, Yoon is spending her time coming to terms with her new reality of no longer seeing jealous. She is also becoming more aware of the mark on her neck. Later, Yoon learns from a news report that Mongleon High School has been shut down after several students and faculty members fell into a coma. Instinctively, she tries to contact Hong, but her attempt fails. The two are able to establish communication via text, and Han tells Yoon that the fishing site in Busan has been abandoned. Yoon shares this information with her friend HWA, and HWA says all the energy was stolen from the site. She also says that contrary to the existing belief, Mongleon High School does not belong to Safe Happiness, although the organization has been trying to buy the school for a while. Yoon dives deep into research and learns that Safe Happiness drained the energy from the phishing site. She also concludes that they are coming after Mongleon High School. This discovery pushes Yoon to dig even deeper into her investigation. While looking through the mails that have been left for Ilgwang's sterilization, Yoon learns that her friend HWA is actually the president. She also realizes that unknown to her, both Ilgwang and Safe Happiness have been in a war over who gets control of the basement, and that Han's grandfather was eliminated. As a result of the war, both Ilgwang and Safe Happiness planted agents at the school to protect their interests. Yoon is confronted by H. Wang, who happens to be a top-ranking member of Safe Happiness. H. Wang confirms that Safe Happiness has its sights on the school, and they need Han to achieve this goal. H. Wang also tells Yoon to return to them, proving that Yoon once belonged to the organization. Yoon says she cannot as she no longer has her powers. The two part ways on an unpleasant note. The confrontation with H. Wang causes Yoon to realize that both Ilgwang and Safe Happiness are desperate to get Han because they need him to harness the power in the basement. Han and Yoon are caught in the middle of a dangerous war. Yoon confronts HWA for betraying her, hiding her real identity, and using her as a pawn to reach the basement. HWA tries to convince Yoon to join forces with Ilgwang, but Yoon turns down the offer and leaves enraged. At night, Han pulls into the school's parking lot and makes his way to Yoon's office. He finds her sitting there looking sad and inquires about her well-being. When Han holds Yoon's hand, he discovers that the sparks they could create together no longer exist. The two engage in light conversation for a bit, and then suddenly, Yoon declares that they should destroy the school. While the students are away, Yoon says that since she has lost her powers and can no longer protect the school, its teachers, and students, the only other option is to destroy it. Han asks how the school can be destroyed, and Yoon suggests they return to the basement and open up the breathing hole by rolling the stone away. She says that, unlike the first time they opened it, they would now leave the hole open. Han agrees, and the two head down to the basement. Before they enter, Han and Yoon recognize the danger they are walking into, and they both agree not to leave without the other person. As they descend the stairs, Yoon tells Han about her friend's betrayal. She also tells him how much she likes being normal. Upon entering the chamber, Yoon rolls over the stone, but Han quickly covers the hole, saying he isn't ready. Immediately, Yoon touches the rock, the mark behind her neck vanishes, and she regains her power to see jelly. Unaware of this new development, Han rolls over the stone again. Yoon is overwhelmed by emotion and blinded by her tears. She takes off running towards her office, leaving Han behind in the crumbling basement. Left with no choice, Han struggles to make it out of the basement. Yoon picks up her sword, and it lights up, confirming that her powers have been restored. Disappointed, she breaks down in tears. After making his way out, Han continues to call out to Yoon, and finally, she makes her way to him. When the two hold hands, the spark is back, and a huge heart-shaped jelly bursts out of the trembling school grounds. Somehow, Yoon and Han make it out of the school alive, but the school building is badly damaged. They both vow to fix the school and ban the laughing exercises. A little while later, the damage has been repaired, and Mongleon High School has been reopened. Yoon has taken up her job as the school nurse again, and she receives a visit from Rady, who asks her to stop by her house. Rady says that her mother sees ghosts, letting Yoon know she is not alone. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you.